Welcome to an afternoon episode of the Talking Shop podcast. I am Josh from Grand Slam Cards. We got Michael here from Medium Rare Cards, and Jacob's driving. What's up, Jacob? It's Cobb over on YouTube and the other socials. We're here to talk some shop with you today. Jacob, give him a rundown of what this episode entails.
All right, so we're going to catch up on our weekends like we always do. Of course, Michael is probably going to mention his Auburn Tigers and their game against the Bears, with Josh talking about the Colorado Buffaloes getting crushed by Nebraska. I saw some text in the chat about that one. We're also going to dive into the early college football results and share some thoughts on which teams are standing out so far. Then in hobby news, we're going to discuss the recent $1.7 million sale of the Wilt Chamberlain card that we talked about last week, I believe, or the week before. His rookie card, which is pretty impressive. And we're going to also check out Panini's latest WWE release, which is PhotoGenic. And lastly, we're going to break down the 2024 Bowman Chrome release, highlighting some notable prospects and key cards you'll want to know about. We'll also tell you what is new in the shop at Grand Slam, show you some hits from the shop, and wrap things up with a crazy stat. Take it away.
Take it away, boys. Speaking of photogenic, I'll go first. That was a dad joke. But we're also did the rundown talk about our big Bowman Chrome baseball release this week? Yes. It did. I was glossing over what you were saying, Jacob. So I heard.
The one thing that we didn't mention was a big sort of collaborative event that Topps puts on every year that's happening at the shop. But we'll cover that.
Stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned. Little teaser there.
All right, boys. How are your weekends?
I worked, and then I get one day off a week. That's Sunday, and we do. What do we do Sunday? We always do something at least. Church, and then where did we go? Can't remember. Nothing too crazy.
How was the shop this weekend?
Oh, my sister's birthday. We went and did that. Friday and Saturday, shop was hopping. I can't remember. We did a couple pre-release for the new Pokemon Stellar Crown on Saturday, so it was busy with that. And then it was just a busy Friday, Saturday shop just because of some nice releases. Topps Chrome basketball still selling strong. And then there was a card show in Mooresville, right? And our guys, a couple of our guys were up there at it, said it was very good, and we did very well. So, yeah, I don't know if you had heard anything about that show at all, Michael.
I've not. James does a good job with those shows. And so these fall shows can be tough sometimes. I mean, people are busy. Friday night football, college football, real NFL football. So, good for the promoters that are putting on shows this time of year. It could get kind of thin, but from everything that I saw on Instagram and everybody that I'm connected to, everybody had a great time there. How did your guys do? Did they say?
Yeah, they said, we did really well.
Okay.
So Fantastic. They said it was busy and they did really well. So,
Jacob, anything worth noting from your weekend?
Did some yard work. There was a wrestling pay-per-view that was questionable. That was about it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
You did? So I have no way of watching it. Hopefully AEW gets on Max or whatever they're going to get on so that some of these pay-per-views, but I was dying to know MJF and Daniel Garcia, and I'm trying not to look at spoilers, but there's nothing out there. You can't even find the match anywhere yet. So that bugs me. Like, really, I mean, even when I try, I can't find a way to watch it. They've got to fix it.
I know one way, but you got to use a VPN unless you want to pay $50.
Wait a minute. You're getting $50 for AEW pay-per-view?
I don't.
But I mean, they are, yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel too good about $25, but that's a different story.
I'd pay $20 to watch just a couple of matches. Basically just MJF, but
well, now he's on break.
Who's MJF?
So I guess I'm gonna get spoiled right here on live. Who won the match, Jacob?
MJF.
MJF won. Did you say he's
slow down? Who's MJF?
They did an
Maxwell
injury
Jacob.
angle.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's better than you, and you know it.
So he got bested the whole time, and then at the end he pulled out a cheap shot,
Love
injured.
it. Okay. And then he'll be gone for a little bit and show up in WWE, hopefully. No, I'm just kidding.
One can hope.
Eventually, those highlights will be on YouTube, and I'll watch it there. But
actually, I heard they are striking down a bunch of accounts that post videos from it.
I believe it because I couldn't find anything on it.
Which is,
I will say,
wild.
here's a fun fact that involves the shop as well. There's a customer that comes in pretty regularly, and he is connected through employment with AEW. And so he's often at all the events, and we were just kind of talking some behind the scenes stuff with AEW, and and that's where he was talking about hopefully it headed towards some sort of a max or a subscription like WWE does with Peacock. And so it's cool. He comes in, we talk AEW, we talk MJF, and he buys what little wrestling we have sometimes. So.
Well, Andrew Ringel chimes in. UFC charges $80, and they have a pay-per-view once a month.
That's why I don't watch UFC.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people will. Joe Blow gets it at his house for $80, and then 20 people come over and they order food and they hang out, and it's a big deal and it's a fun evening. So that's how they can get away with those. Really relatively easy. Get 4 guys to split it for $20.
I've purchased 2 pay-per-views in my life, and one was Pacquiao Mayweather, and the other one was a UFC fight back in the day when Anderson Silva was King Kong back then.
They didn't have all of the streaming services that they do now. That's why WWE doesn't even call them pay-per-views. They call them premium live events because
there you go.
90% of the people are watching them via whatever subscription streaming service they have.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a great point.
Where it needs to go.
Well, I hated to bring this up. I thought I'd have better news. But I'm no longer an Auburn Tigers fan again. It took 2 games. It took 2 games this time.
You'll be back.
2. Last year I was pouting because they crapped the bed against Bama in the last 30 seconds of the game. This year, I think our starting quarterback went colorblind halfway through the game because all he did was throw at the other team. It was a miserable watch. Susan, just every time there was a turnover, she'd just look at me and laugh. She's like,
that's a loving.
Yeah, she asked if he was playing for the other team. Like he literally was the other team's MVP. It was terrible. And then I was hopeful because Josh, you're my buddy, so I was rooting for Colorado. They lay an egg against Nebraska.
Yeah,
I don't know what was in the water, but it was a bad weekend for the podcast as far as college football.
I have Facebook friends that are Nebraska fans because I'm from Southwest Iowa, like 20 minutes from Nebraska, and an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes from Lincoln. And so a lot of the people I know from back home are Nebraska fans. So they were loving it. No one was talking trash. No one knows that I'm a Colorado fan. I don't even know. I didn't even know I was a Colorado fan.
You didn't know until last week that you were a Colorado fan. So
yes.
But I want to do this in the opening rip during college football season, just because I can't sit there and just say, "Hey, Josh, you should watch college football," and then just leave it alone. I'm going to just push this agenda until you're a college football fan. So, Jacob, can you pull up the scores of the college football? So, oh gosh, I'm going to have to make the screen bigger so I can actually see this. Yeah, so if you start at the top of week 1, I think as far as we're a hobby podcast, so as far as the hobby is concerned, I think the one performance that stood out, 1 of 14. So scroll up a little bit. Where are we? Keep going.
This is week 1.
Keep going. Keep going. There it is. So the one game that has a lot of hobby relevance is that Texas-Michigan game. And the reason why I say that, number one, Quinn Ewers, I remember you pulling him out of a Leaf product, I believe. I think it was a fairly low-numbered car. He played really well against what people thought was a really good Michigan team. The story there is, number one, NIL money is flowing through Texas because not only is Quinn Ewers bringing in a whole bunch of cash, there's this kid that's his backup named Arch Manning. And literally, this kid, Quinn Ewers, is playing so well that he's keeping Arch Manning on the bench, which I didn't think would happen. Because at this point, he is young. He is young. But at this point, you've got all this NIL money flowing through Texas. I wonder if someone's going to whisper in Quinn Ewers' ear saying, hey, you're in a no-win situation here. Arch Manning is going to have your starting job no matter what because of his last name. You need to get in the transfer portal to another big name. Andrew's bringing this up. NIL, what about NIU? Okay, pop quiz, guys. Who's NIU?
NIU, isn't that something to do with injury?
No, look at the bottom right corner there.
Northern Illinois University.
They beat the Fighting Irish, which is unheard of.
But they're ranked 25 and Notre Dame's only ranked 18. That's not a big dispute.
It. Notre Dame's a brand name. That's a brand name. And for a NIU, you guys didn't even know who NIU was until I pointed that out. That was a huge upset. So that's what I love about college football is that normally in the NFL, you know who's going to win these games. But in college football, anything can happen. So
that's an updated ranking, according to Andrew.
Ah.
Notre Dame was 5th, and NIU was unranked.
Unranked, and Notre Dame was 5th. So, yeah, that was quite the upset. So we're going to do that. As boring as that seems to you guys, I started talking about college football, and I looked up at the screen, and both you guys are checked out. It's like glazed.
This is a Monday shop thing. This is a card shop podcast, not a college football Pat McAfee show.
But these guys are going to be. Some of these guys are going to be playing on Sunday, so it's good to know. This is the Bowman prospecting portion of NFL football. Look at it that way. So, anyway, guys, drop it in the comments. Let us know if you guys watch college football. Some pretty big upsets. Some
28.5-point underdog.
Pretty big downers as far as the guys on the podcast. Let us know what you guys think. Oh, yeah. 28.5 point underdogs. Heck, Auburn was supposed to beat Cal by 2 touchdowns.
Didn't you check out fairly early last year, too?
No. I checked out fairly.
That was defensive.
Middle.
I remember you checking out, but
I didn't realize that Auburn hadn't had a winning season since 2020.
You'll be back beginning of the season. You'll have hope next year, and you'll be right back in. Just to have
so week 2, same thing.
Oh my god! All right, what's next, Jacob?
I'm a Cubs fan. I know.
New in the shop.
New in the shop. All right. So this is a big week because Bowman Chrome baseball comes out on Wednesday.
Yes.
So that's a big one. Come to the shop and get some. For those that might ask if we're going to break some, maybe. Got to see how launch day goes. Make sure I got enough to supply the launch day, which I know I will. You don't have to come on launch day to get some. I got enough to last a few days probably. But so Chrome baseball's Wednesday. Also Wednesday is Spectra basketball. And also Wednesday, finally, the first licensed 2024 football product. Albeit it's Score, but it's still the first product, and it'll sell well because of that. People are ready for the 24 stuff. I've had some customers in today ready for some new stuff. So that is on Wednesday, those 3 big ones.
So we're finally out of the CJ Stroud rookie class.
Right. Now, this first product will have the rookies, Caleb Williams and those guys, J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix and all those guys, but they'll still be in college uniforms. So even though it's licensed, it's a licensed pro NFL product with NFL teams, the pictures will still be in their college uniforms. So that'll be for a couple products, and then they'll start being in pro uniforms. Friday, Stellar Crown for Pokemon launches for Big Box. It launches here at Grand Slam today. So we've been selling that today. Another Friday release. I'll talk about it just because I need to probably. I don't know a lot about it. And I didn't get any Topps Motif football. I think that's a... Let's see, maybe an online. It's 1 pack, 8 cards. It looks very high-end-ish. 6 autos, 1 base, 1 parallel. So that's probably a pretty sweet product. But it's unlicensed because it's Topps and it's football, but the pictures are in pro uniforms, just airbrushed. Yeah, I didn't get offered it. I don't know a lot about it, but it comes out on Friday, so who cares? And then... also, few people care about this. The TriStar Hidden Treasures full-size autograph mystery helmets. Those are Friday as well, and I think I'm getting those on Friday. So, yeah,
those,
there you
I
have
don't
it.
see those in the shop. Those don't hang out at the shop very long. Those do pretty well, don't they?
No, they don't fly off the shelf. It's a very specific buyer. We still have a few of last year's. So,
am I thinking of the mini helmets?
Yeah, the mini ones do fly out because
Okay.
the full size ones are like $300 or $400. The mini ones are like $150 or something.
Okay.
So that is the difference. But I will say, as we get close to Christmas, they start getting gobbled up for Christmas gifts pretty quickly. So again, Chrome Baseball, Score Football. Those will be the 2 big ones this week. Inspector Basketball is going to be a great product. It's just so expensive that the masses won't be buying that one up like they will the other 2.
Right. Okay, cool.
All right. Is that it, Josh?
That's it. I can't, nothing else coming out.
All right, let's have a word from our sponsor.
Hey. Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy. We've had some nice big cards coming back lately as well. You know what I should have done?
How's the turnaround time on grading these days?
45 business days. So, it was 2 months. It's a little faster. We've been seeing it's not very consistent, like super consistent, but yeah, it's sped up a little bit for sure.
Okay. Cool. All right, Jacob, what's our first topic in hobby news
Our
today?
first topic is the Wilt Chamberlain card that we have mentioned before.
Uh-oh, Josh is frozen.
I'm frozen. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
So
This
pull up
is
that
an audio podcast.
share your screen, talk about Wilt. I'm going to restart this camera. You could see it was flickering. So it was on its
flickering.
We're going to reboot it. I'll be right back, but I'll still be here. You just won't see me.
Jacob,
ahead,
I didn't
Michael.
realize that
Pulling
you
it up.
didn't have those links.
I'm pulling it up.
Okay, cool. You
You
got
can
the
go
links, or do you want me to
I got it.
all right. Dead air. I love it.
I'm still flickering, but at least I'm live.
So this is funny. I sent this to the group, and Josh's immediate response was, "I told you. I told you that the Wilt card was the better pick. Was a better card to get than the what was it, the Otani 101 when he went 40 40.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe now.
I hate to say I told you so, but actually, no, I don't. I love saying it.
Does this price surprise you in any way? Did you think it was going to go higher, or is this about the Goldilocks price for this?
I think it's the Goldilocks price. You know, it's probably a little like if you would have said this was $1 million card, you'd say I could see that. Now this is $700,000 above that, so I think that's a pretty strong price. But you got to think if you're a multi-millionaire, where a card like this might be $1,000 to you or I mean, why not 1.7, hold it for a few years and sell it for 2.2? You know, that's what these guys do.
Jacob, I know you're not a sports guy, but even the fact that you're not a sports guy, you knew who Wilt Chamberlain was, right?
Of course.
Okay. How about you? How did the price of this hit you based on how you view the hobby?
Well, like I say all the time, I still think it's way overpriced. And the other thing is that I also say I like the older stuff as opposed to the newer stuff chasing people that have no real ground to stand on. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're better than I am, but this guy's proven, career's over. Things
Jacob,
can't go south immediately.
Jacob, you remind me of the guy that's on his couch and watching the Olympics with the bag of Doritos, and the guy messes up the pole vault, and you're like, loser.
Hey, you better.
I mean that in love.
I know.
I honestly was surprised it sold for this much, and really that just exposes me for just not being a vintage guy. Like, I guess because I'm a junk wax guy to start with, and then got back into the hobby during the pandemic. Vintage doesn't really speak to me. I can appreciate it, but I didn't think that this card was going to go for 1.7. Honestly, did.
Yeah, it's like you got to think like how many more of these are out there, if any. So like, it's so rare and it's like the Mickey Mantles. You know, how are we going to find another PSA 10 or SGC 9.5 out in the wild? At some point, there's just not going to be any more. Yeah. These are such a safe investment. Did you see? I clicked on the article and I can't remember. It was like a Mickey Mantle rookie card found in the water. You know, where they dumped all those.
Oh, all the 52 Mantles.
Yeah, they dumped all those cases of 52 tops in there, and I don't know if it was clickbait. It said, you know, found in the water, and then maybe it was just telling the story. And I scrolled for a little bit, and then I gave up hope. But I don't know why I just brought that up because I don't have an end to it. So.
Well, drop in the chat, guys. What do you guys think? Was this right? Like just right pricing wise? Did you think it would go for more, or you just didn't see this coming? Like I said, I didn't see this coming. I thought this was going to be in that million, just getting over $1 million. And any thoughts on the fact that this was a private sale and it was reported by Golden? Does that mean Golden brokered the deal like on the side before it went to auction? Like, what do you think happened here?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they did. Golden was just the broker for it, and they didn't need to run it at auction because they found a buyer.
For all we know, Ken Golden bought this. For all we know,
right?
So
yeah,
really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing. This makes me feel better when cards go for this amount than like new stuff that's just so volatile that feels like it's like, man, that person made a big mistake. Yeah. And they probably have the money to absorb it, so it's not as big a deal. But you see some of those Mac Jones, Zach Wilson cards that were going for 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. It's like, this is just such a safe investment compared.
Oh yeah, this makes, what was it, the Luca logo man or the Luca National Treasures that went for like 3 point something. This makes that look silly.
Yeah, the only defense you can make there is that is the only one, and maybe this is the only one now, but it could have a sister card at some point.
And there will be, because of this sale, you're going to see cards come out of the woodwork. It happened with the Jordan rookie. And so there's no way that this is the only one. It's just the only one that's been graded. So there's probably some of these floating around and somebody's like, yep, I got that lottery ticket sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
At my mom's house or something. So
crazy.
We'll see. All right. Next story, Jacob.
All right. The next story is you labeled it as Panini's possible comeback with WWE PhotoGenic.
I redid that. It should have been their not screw up.
Not wrong.
It went from comeback to possible win to, hey, look, they actually didn't screw this up. So far. So can you pull that up, Jacob?
This is pretty sweet, especially if you're a WWE fan like we are.
A couple of the pictures that I sent you guys. They're my favorite that came out. Let's see.
Here, I'm gonna drop.
There's this one photo of Booker T, which caught my attention immediately.
The Randy Orton one caught mine. I thought that Randy Orton one was.
And then there's this photo of Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I just dropped the Beckett link in there for the preview of it. Is that where you're pulling these from?
Yeah.
So have they only done basketball up until this point, this PhotoGenic brand?
I want to say that as a standalone product, yes. Now, I think there's PhotoGenic football, but it was in Chronicles.
This would be such a fun product to make as a photographer and card designer, because it just boggles my mind that this isn't the standard for most trading cards already. Like, why would you not try to find some of the awesomest photos of, even if you're doing score football, just find really cool photos.
I mean, we say this all the time.
Design is weak.
Well, yeah, those stickers, they got to do better than that. But
I think they gave too much space to the whole shebang, if that makes sense.
We say this, I say this every time Topps Stadium Club comes out. It's like, why isn't this the standard?
Standard. Yeah,
absolutely. Like,
and it's not. You can't use the excuse that, I mean, you'll run out of cool, iconic photos. No, you won't. A good photographer can get 100 from a person every year, or a player every year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy that this isn't the standard. Josh, are you getting any of this? Have you?
I mean, I don't have any allocations yet. I'll put in for it if it comes through. When's it release? But
you're frozen again. It's just, wow. What's going on over there? Jacob, what's the release date for this?
I am looking. I don't see a concrete date.
Yeah, I don't either. Hopefully, Josh, you get some of this, because I think there's enough of it.
That's a product I'd be willing to just go online and buy a box of it, just to open myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they're saying based off basketball that it could be an online exclusive product.
Boo!
Strictly through Panini.
We'll have to go online and buy some, Jacob.
That's what we'll do.
Boo.
Yeah, it says release date to be announced.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a crying shame that this isn't the standard. Those photos aren't standard.
All right. Let's round this episode out.
With
rounding.
I want to talk about
rounding it out with
Bowman Chrome. Bowman Chrome.
So go ahead and throw the. You have the PDF that was dropped in the chat. That actually has some great images in it.
I think I do.
Yes. Yeah, it had great images and it had a great breakdown of the set too. So for my local customers, the product we'll be getting on Wednesday, you have two choices, I believe. It's the regular hobby box, which gives you 12 packs, 2 autos, probably some numbered cards. That's a hobby box. And then they do the HTA choice, which is 3 autograph cards. That's all you get. 3 Bowman Chrome autograph cards per box. So I got some customers that love either or. We'll have both on launch. They're both the same price. I think they're $2.99 a box. But here's a little breakdown of the product. And we got to talk about the GPK inserts. Michael can
absolutely. But we'll get to that. And I want to pick your brains about why you think that they did that. They have done, and it was an online exclusive. And I thought it was an online exclusive until I read through what it was, that it was going to be the short printed inserts. But MLK, Garbage Pail Kids, MLK that's been an online release every year since 2022. And
what's MLK stand for?
I'm sorry, MLB.
Oh, I was like Martin Luther King. What?
Yes, MLB Garbage Pail Kids has been a release since 2022, I believe, and those are really cool. But they've never been chromed out. They've always been a paper product, and now they're throwing them in Bowman Chrome baseball. And I have a couple theories about that. But as you guys could see, there's no shortage of parallels. And Josh, do you want to go into like sort of the Bowman releases through the year? Or do you want me to cover that?
You'd probably be a better one to cover that. I do love, scroll back up a little bit, Jacob, if you're scrolling. I love the hobby shop or hobby only inserts in the way they do that. So there's certain refractors, like the black refractor is new. And then they've got orange. What was the reptilian blue and the reptilian green? Those are hobby only. So I like that.
Yeah. I wonder, because they don't. This is a hobby exclusive. You're not going to get Bowman Chrome baseball retail. So this is one of those true ones. Back in the day, remember Select used to be that, right? It was a hobby shop exclusive. But so there's Bowman baseball that releases earlier in the year. Then halfway through the year, you get Bowman Chrome baseball. I think the big difference in the two, other than the fact that Bowman Chrome baseball is all the chromium products, is that Bowman Chrome baseball has a little bit more of a emphasis on international players.
Well,
so
now that you mentioned that, I'm excited about this international refractor number 200. That caught my attention. I want to see what they do for that.
They're international players. They're young. Some of these kids are like 16, 17 years old. And they're all from like the South American countries. So you're probably, and could be frustrating to some folks that want to get into collecting and then fairly new. If you don't keep up, this is going to be confusing to you. It's a fun rip, especially the HTA products, because you don't get any of the base. It's just autographs. But this is one of those high ceiling products, because that Bowman first auto is highly sought after by collectors.
I'm surprised we haven't heard of some big bounty. I haven't heard of a bounty yet on anything out of this.
Actually, I threw that into the chat. You want to bring that up, Jacob? I saw it, and it was by David Adams, and it's not for a prospect, oddly enough.
You keep talking. I had it. I lost it. I'm getting it again.
Okay. It's okay. I'll wait for you. Dead air is good for a
So it's not a prospect, is what
it is saying. Not a prospect.
But we've had something like it in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So it's a $100,000 bounty on the Lou Gehrig Superfractor, Retrofractor 1/1 Superfractor.
Look at the picture of that card, though. That does look really awesome.
It's cool. So they are keeping this going. couple years ago was Babe Ruth. Or was it last year? Maybe last year was Babe Ruth.
Last year I believe it was. Well, yeah, Brady was in one of them too. He was in draft.
He was in Bowman draft.
Yeah.
Bowman draft. And so David Adams is offering $100,000 bounty to the Lou Gehrig retrofractor. I hope that they keep this going. Let me look at the checklist. I brought.
You know what they need? These products need. They need like 10 of the $100,000 bounty cards in a product. So there's always a little something to. It's not. I mean, $100,000 can be life changing if you use it right, but it's not super life changing money. But it's a great, huge, awesome bounty.
You'd have a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some different ones here. I think. Let's see. So there is one retrofractor autograph, and it's this left-hander named Sandy Koufax is in this set. So you can get Sandy Koufax autos in here. Now I don't know if those are going to be hard signed or not, but I don't think that we don't have Sandy with us anymore. I don't think Sandy Koufax is alive. So there'll be a sticker auto, I believe, but still, looking forward to seeing that. I threw these into some sort of a spreadsheet and bringing it up here. And just to give you guys, if you guys are looking, I don't know, Josh, are you planning to maybe do a break for this product?
Yeah,
probably.
I said, yeah, probably. I just want to make sure we take care of the launch day wave first, and then see where we stand.
So here's the thing about Bowman, and this is what's odd if you're into this product and you want to get into prospecting. The really good teams are probably not going to have the highest prospects. Why? Because the really good teams, they don't pick at the top of the draft.
Right. And
so like my Braves, they don't have a lot of highly touted prospects in this set. Now, if you're looking for autos, it breaks down. The top 3 teams for autos in this product are going to be, can you guess? If you had to guess, who are the top 3 teams for sheer number of autos in this set? If you wanted an auto.
Small market or big market?
They're all fairly big markets. 2 huge markets.
Yankees, probably.
Yankees are number 1. Yankees are number 1 with 30 autos.
Wow.
On the checklist. Who's number 2? Give me the top 3 here.
I mean, you said 2 big ones. I said Dodgers. I don't know if you answered that one, but Red Sox.
Dodgers are number 4.
Oh, okay. Man. Giants?
Giants are not in the top 10.
Wow.
For sheer autographs in this product.
Cubbies?
Cubs are not in the top 10. I'm going to let you off the hook. The top 3, Yankees at 30. The Orioles have 28 autos. The Reds, 27. And then the Dodgers and on down the list. How about for sheer number of prospects? And this is Bowman Chrome prospects. So they're going to be designated as BCP on their cards on the back.
We'll be here a while with me guessing.
And this is a little counterintuitive to what I just said about good teams.
Well, I was going to
having a lot of prospects, but because this team was just in the World Series last year, the number 1 team for the number of prospects.
Rangers?
The Rangers.
Yeah.
The Rangers, followed by the Orioles, and then the Reds again, and then the Diamondbacks. Oddly enough, number 5 on that list is the Yankees. And so, I mean, the Yankees are always a good team to pull on a break, right? You always like that because they have a huge fan base.
Easy to send out.
Last year pulling the Yankees in a break was nice because everybody was chasing the Babe Ruth superfractor. But this year, not a bad team to pull either because of the Lou Gehrig. And I guess Sandy Koufax would be the Dodgers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit of breakdown of the set there.
Who's the biggest prospect chase? Like first Bowman Chrome auto.
So
probably someone they've got featured there on the.
It was the ninth, the only person in this set that went into the top 10 of last year's draft. Let me pull that up. Hold on. Again, dead air. I should have had this pulled up.
Oh, and I froze. My computer, and I'm not going to restart my computer. I just we keep restarting the streaming service.
So, I mean, you've got some big names, but they're not going to be your first Bowmans. You've got Dylan Cruz is in this set, Paul Skeens, Wyatt Langford. One of my favorite players is Max Clark. And then Walker Jenkins has just been called up. Where is that name? Let me just scroll. Sorry. So, yes, the only player in this set that went in the top 10 last year's draft, his name is Connor Griffin. So, for me, looking at just draft class, he's the guy to chase. Is this kid named Connor Griffin? He's with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, I was trying to see if someone pulled him out of pro debut or.
Yes. So you're going to see a lot of the same names in pro debut as you will. Some of those names are going to be here in Bowman Chrome. So, guys, let us know in the comments if you guys are going to be opening up some Bowman Chrome. Do you have any initial pricing for the different SKUs you're getting, Josh?
So I think they're both at $299.99 in the shop. So the HTA and the regular hobby. So
okay. And now I know Topps Finest changed its format. Topps Finest looked a little different from this year, but this Bowman Chrome product seems like it's the big box with the master box and the two mini boxes with it.
Yeah, so an auto in each mini box. Yep.
All right. Fantastic. All right, guys. Josh, I know that you got to get out of here pretty soon. Any hits from the shop?
Yes, let me show. I might have to do it via phone. So I did want to show these were pulled by a customer in the shop, and have already been. I brokered the sale for these. So customer pulled the here. Let me see if we get some. This is the refractor Wemby rookie. They were like 500 on launch day. They're down to about 200 to 250 now. But the Wemby refractor rookie, and then the same customer also pulled this, the number to 349 purple. So those are like 400, 410, something like that recently. See if I can get it better. Ooh, there we go. So two big Wembys. We'll get that refractor to refract for us. Look at that. There you go.
These are also posted on the Instagram.
Yeah. If you're ever curious, just go to Instagram and post. There's a couple things today that I haven't posted yet. I can't remember if I posted this one. Yeah, I did. So you remember the triple auto out of pro debut?
Oh, yeah. Who's on there again? I can't see it on your phone.
Colt Emerson, Johnny Farmello, and Ty Pete. Not three of the biggest names, but this card is really, really tough to pull. I guess they're like one in every 4,000 packs is one of those triple autos. So,
sweet.
Let me show you this. So you remember Leaf Decadence?
I do.
Came out the other day. Saw all three boxes open. There's three boxes in a case. This was one of them. And again, we'll see if the camera will do it justice. But the middle is Giannis. On the right is Stephon Marbury, and the dual auto is Dr. J and George McInnes. Little dual
That's
auto.
Cool.
So yeah, that was cool, but that wasn't the best box. Check out this one. The best box was what you kids call a banger. So we got Jerry West on the right. We got Randy Johnson, the big unit on the left. And we got a dual Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts.
Oh, wow.
It's hard to see that in the picture, but the middle one is Ohtani and Betts to 4. So a couple sweet boxes out of Decadence. And then this was pulled today. These are actually, this is, I think, case hits, the patch autos out of Pro Debut. And that's Jackson Churio. So not only case hit, but a good prospect as well. Those are roughly like $150. So, and then this was pulled on Saturday out of Inception, Juju Watkins. And so the customer was kind of like, oh man, I didn't get really anything good. And I was like, let me look. WNBA stuff is hot right now. I look at, that's like a $200 to $300 card raw like that, unnumbered.
Wow.
Her numbered stuff is just completely insane. So that's just a few. I'll post more on Instagram and Facebook, but there's a few hits from the shop.
Fantastic. Hey guys, if you guys have made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment, let us know how we're doing, leave a review. Before we get to the crazy stat of the week, hobby with Topps Rip Night this weekend. What is it? 5 to 8?
5 to 8. If we might go a little long if it's hopping, but starts at 5 o'clock when the shop closes on Saturday. We'll just remain open. So it's the second one Topps has done. They kind of partner with the shops. They send us T-shirts to give out. So we've got some of these exact ones. They're very comfortable. So I've got some of those to give away. They usually send us some free packs to give out. They've also sent us product at a kind of a juicy little price so that we can mark it down and have some like really low priced good product in the shop, blasters and megas and hangers and stuff. But you're talking like $20 a blaster for like Topps Chrome blasters for like 20, I think. So
wow.
Yeah, so don't quote me on that, but I think that's correct. And you'll see me post some of those kind of doorbuster things. We'll do we'll have some fun, kind of be a trade night, rip night. Hopefully people come and buy some stuff. We'll have the shelves loaded up and this Saturday. So
this Saturday, 5 to 8. And it is going to feel like a trade night. So people are welcome to bring their cards to trade and sell. Fantastic. All right, Josh.
I do have a crazy
stat. Out with crazy.
I do have a crazy stat. I was thinking I didn't have one this week, and then I remembered the one I have. So, speaking of WNBA, we're going to stick with the WNBA for this stat. It's a Caitlin Clark stat. I have two actually. Let's do Caitlin first. So, at the point of this, when this meme was made or this stat was made, it says 17% of all of the flagrant fouls committed in the WNBA this season have been committed against Caitlin Clark.
No way.
So you could, and the joke is, that's just the ones that get called. So you could probably say 20% of all the flagrant fouls in the WNBA this season were committed against Caitlin Clark. So
that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. And then Zach Greinke is always good for a crazy stat. So again, this would be at the time of this. It probably hasn't changed too much. Zach Greinke had a career slugging percentage of .336. The 2024 Chicago White Sox are slugging .338.
They're bad.
That ain't good. They're slugging Zach Greinke's slugging percentage this year.
They're so bad.
I know.
They're so bad. Like historically bad. You hate seeing that. I hate seeing it because like the Chicago White Sox, our team here in Charlotte feeds them. The Knights is their minor league team. So you'd like to see some success there. So bad.
What do you think of the odds? Ohtani in the 50-50. Think it's going to happen?
He's at 46, right?
46 and 46, I think. I think he's on pace for 52-52 as of right now. But is he gonna stumble a little bit? Is he gonna catch fire?
Catch fire. Yeah. Let's go 60-60. Ohtani. Let's do it.
Andrew says it's your fault then, Michael, that the Charlotte Knights are not feeding better prospects to the White Sox.
Oh, my goodness, it is. We'll take the hit.
I agree.
Josh, appreciate you, man. Jacob, thanks for joining us. Guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Peace out. Come see us at the shop.